Hello boys and girls, it's Mrs. Dykes filming from our Amosland Library today to talk to you a little bit about this year's book fair. For obvious reasons, we can't have an in-person book fair this year, but we are going to have a fully virtual online fair brought to us from a company called Follett. And Follett is a company from which I buy many of our library books, so we're guaranteed to have a great selection of new books. Hopefully you've gotten a book fair flyer. It is a great full-color 8-page flyer filled with great new titles and some of our book fair favorites. So we're definitely going to have the latest Dogman, Dork Diaries, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Bad Kitty. Fair favorites are going to be there just online this year.
So I'd like to take this opportunity to help you navigate our Follett efair website. So the first thing we're going to do is open Safari or your web browser, and we're going to type in efairs.follett, so that's FOLLETTBOOKFAIRS.com, follettbookfairs.com. And it's going to ask us to enter a school code. Our school code is 28KW6. Press this blue and white arrow and it will bring you into our efair. You'll notice a few things on the front page of our efair, staff recommendations, and that is me, Mrs. Dykes. I have flagged a number of books that I enjoy or that I thought would be interesting reads. So the first title here is Hair Love, and it is one of my favorite books that we purchased last year for the library. And if you click on it, you'll see more details. It gives the author's name, the year it was published, and here it gives a Fontes and Pinnell guided reading level. So this is very similar to the levels that your students are given while in school. So if you are looking to purchase a book that is pretty close to the level at which they're reading, you can certainly do that. But at the book fair, of course, you can look for books that are just for fun or even purchase up to books that you think they might grow into. Now you'll notice that this book is $17.99. So if I click See Details, you can see that it is because that book is a hardcover book. So as I go past How to Read a Book, The Pigeon Finds a Hot Dog, which again is one of my favorites, I'm going to stop at here. The Legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is a popular title at the Amosland Library. You're going to notice a few things, that there is a symbol here for a video preview. So a number of titles that Follett would like to spotlight, they've done with preview guides here, but the price at $7.99 reflects that it is a paperback book. This Who Was series is very popular with our students. This Kobe Bryant title is new. It was published last year, and it's only $4.99, so that's a pretty good value. I've highlighted two books that I have purchased for our library recently, and they are beginner chapter books. This is really encouraging for a student who wants to feel the accomplishment of having read a whole chapter of a book. And even the chapters in these books are short, maybe 4 to 5 pages, but to an early reader, that feels like a real accomplishment. So I would put these on par with Magic Tree House books, which I, of course, still recommend for early readers, and then also like a Judy B. Jones type of character. The next way in which you can shop is by category. So I'm going to choose picture books here, and it's going to give you a number of recommendations of titles that they would like to spotlight. So you can see that they've spotlighted what they consider fun reads, family-friendly reads, of course, favorite characters. You'll want to explore. This is where you're going to find your Disney princesses, Pokemon, DC and Marvel characters as well. Another way that you can look for books is by using the search bar. Let's say you would like to find a specific title, Dork Diaries. always a big seller at the book fair. And here you'll get a drop-down list of all of the titles, not only that fit Dork Diaries, but are kind of similar to Dork Diaries. So I see some Wimpy Kids in there as well. If you're a little unsure and you just want to explore the collection, you can type in any keyword that you'd like. Let's try humor. This will give us a wide range of choices. I see picture books in here, early readers, and chapter books. So what I might want to do is filter my results by pulling this lever down. Perhaps we want to look just for K to 3, and maybe we're not really looking to spend more than $8. I'm going to hit done, and you'll see it rearranges our results here. But if I want to take an extra step, I can go to the sort function and look at prices. And here, when I sort by price, I can see that they've got some dollar deals, $2 deals. And so again, if you're looking for a fun book at a great price, you might want to utilize some of these search and sort options. If you're a student who would like to make a wish list that you can share with your parents or relatives that live further away but would be willing to purchase books for you, let me show you quickly how you would do that. So I'm going to open up middle grade fiction. I've heard great things about Dragons in a Bag. It's a T level, and I've decided that I would maybe like to put it on my wish list. So I'm going to click this blue button here. Here's Daring Dreamers Club. I don't know much about this title, but I'm a big Black Panther fan. So I'm going to click this book and add that to my wish list. And let's say I would also like to get a Dork Diary. Now, if you look at the star in the right-hand corner, you'll see that there are now 3 titles on a wish list that I've created. And if I click on that star and then click this share button, you'll notice a few things. You can type in your name. So I'm going to say Mrs. Dykes. It's going to ask you whose class you're in. And that is important for when the books come in after the fair. Mrs. Dykes will need to sort them and deliver them to your classroom. So I need to know who your teacher is. So I'm going to pretend that I am in Mrs. Garcia's class. Now, you may not have the ability to print. We certainly can't from our iPads, and I don't believe you have email set up. So what you may want to do is take a note of this code here at the top. Write it down on a sticky pad, and then you can share that with friends and family. I'm just going to click copy web address just to make sure that it goes through. So now if I were your parent at home, I would go to the efair website, type in our school code, which is 28KW6. And this time, on the left-hand side, I'm going to click these series of stars and lines, and it's going to bring up this wish list page. Now, I placed a number of books in a wish list for the library in case anyone was interested in buying for our school library. But to see student wish lists, I enter that wish list code, and then, of course, we've written it down, but I hadn't, so let me just copy it real quick and paste. And there you'll see the wish list that I created. Now, if I click on this right now, there's no option to put it in my cart, and that is because our fair has not started yet. Our eFair starts on March 8th. So once March 8th arrives, the fair will open up, and then you will be able to shop. Now, of course, there are other categories that you can shop. Beginner readers, chapter books. The graphic library is where you're going to find graphic novels and comic books, which have gotten increasingly popular in our library. You'll see some titles that relate to YouTubers. This is a popular MMO and has something to do with, I want to say, Minecraft. Of course, Dogman, and many others. Middle grade fiction are going to be some of our higher level reads, and even some of our more challenging reads, spookier reads will be here. I would encourage you to read the backs of the books and just make sure that it's appropriate for your age group. If it says YA, that's usually a young adult, and I would leave those young adult books for maybe a later time. Nonfiction is where you're going to find science texts, your world record books that you guys love, biographies, and many more. And if you click complete your series, this will help you find favorite character books that we know that you love. Big Nate, Bad Kitty, Dork Diaries, Wimpy Kids, and even some that we don't have in our library. So take a look. Happy book shopping. I hope you enjoy our first ever e-book fair.